Oh, it's too hot, too hot, lady. I gotta run for shelter, gotta run for shade. Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again for the one time on this. What the hell is today? It's hump day! Yeah, how y'all doing today? You know what? I love this camera on this phone because it's so clear. It's got me looking real goldeny brown and handsome. Because, you know, I'm really ugly, right? I just want y'all to know. The camera make me look halfway decent, but, you know, I'm really ugly. But anywho, I heard that for those of you Android users like me, that note just came out. That camera on that thing nice too. And then they got like some Samsung Z, like a folding phone that's coming out too. That should be cool. I'm gonna try to get Samsung to promote my channel. I'm trying to get these sponsorships. You feel me? But anywho, cause your boy's struggling out here. I need the money. But yeah. I feel like we're back in this whole situation with the Earl Thomas thing, right? And y'all know, I don't like to beat dead horses into the ground. You get tired of talking about the same thing over and over and over again. We've been talking about this Earl Thomas thing since when he jumped in there on Jason Garrett talking about some come get me. No. He ended up going to the Ravens because they, offered him that $50 million. And then things that transpired over there. People came in the comments and then somebody was mentioning something about I'm not worried about a fighter or, all players fight. Yeah, but it's got to be more to it than that. I feel like the Ravens didn't tell you everything because the Ravens is a great organization. They're a really good organization. They're built very well. That's one NFL team that, even though I'm not a fan of it, I respect the Ravens organization. I really do. If I had to pick a team in AFC, it would definitely be the Ravens. But they're I love the way that they're built. You know what I mean? And the way that they run things. But this is the thing about it. If they got rid of, and I'm not going to talk about this too much. I just want to say real quick. If they got rid of a guy like Earl Thomas, right? And again, we know that he's a good player. We know what he can do. Nobody's taking that away from him. But you can also admit too that he's not the same Earl Thomas that he was with Seattle. Now, he's had issues in Seattle. A lot of stuff that we didn't even really hear about until now. So you go look it up yourself if you don't believe me. But he had issues in Seattle. You go to the Ravens and you punch a teammate, but you were late to practice because you had to get your car washed. What kind of shit is that? Excuse my language. But that, and then there's again, you're fighting a teammate, but you did the wrong assignment. You wanted to blitz instead of being whatever coverage that they were in. Okay, so you get mad at a teammate because of something that you did wrong? You're supposed to be a leader of a team. Earl Thomas is 31 years old? You are a super veteran in this league. You're a Pro Bowl player. Act like it. Act like it. Now, Earl Thomas is one of those guys that if you're a guy like him that's pretty confident in the way that he plays, nobody's taking your game away from him. But he plays a lot of ways like a person that takes those chances. He doesn't always go what's planned or what's called. He plays more off of his instinct. But, as you get older, your athleticism diminishes. So you have to use your mind more. Like Sean Lee. Sean Lee is going to play within the system. If Sean Lee were just to play straight off instincts, we would think he was garbage. Because he's an aging guy and he doesn't have the injury rapport as somebody that's younger in the league. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn to play and think smart once you get older in the league. And Earl Thomas hasn't made that transition yet to realize that, okay, you can't just use your ability. You have to think about what you're doing. Now, you guys asked me how I felt about him being on the team. I love his talent. And I think that he's better than the safeties that we have on the team. But you look at training camp, they're not doing too bad. And I'm going to clarify that too, because, people was down on Clinton Dix, but I'm going to tell you, don't be. Don't listen to everything that you hear. And I know you hear these talking heads talking about it, some of the staff writers of the Cowboys and stuff like that. But I'm going to explain that in a minute, because I'm going to bring a different standpoint to it for you guys. Because like I told you, I think differently. I don't think like a regular fan when I watch football, because I played the game, not in the NFL obviously, but I played football. So I understand that like players are not going to say certain things. Well, we'll get into that. But my whole thing is this. As last thing about Earl Thomas, like, I don't want that drama on this team, because we don't need that. Because again, if the Ravens gave up on you and your teammates gave up on you, why the hell would you want that same thing on your team with the Dallas Cowboys in your locker room, breaking up the monotony that you already have, the rapport that these players have with each other right now? You see how good these players are working with each other right now? Why would you want a guy to come in and break all that shit up? That's like you having a household, right? And then you go date somebody and you bring that person into your home, but that person is toxic and they're messing up your house, and you're just like, everything seems to be fine, everything's in order, but it ain't in order, because that person is tearing up your livelihood. You can't allow that to happen. So that's just how I feel about that. Now, again, I like Earl Thomas's talent. I want to know first more what happened with that Ravens situation. Why did they let you go outside of the fight? It had to be other things. You were late, because if you're a person that's late to practice, I don't need that shit either, because you have to be a role model to these young players. You can't be doing that as a veteran. Even Skip and Shannon, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that they said, but after listening to that, I have to agree with some of that. Like, you don't want that. You want the talent, but you don't need that drama. And I hear people say, well, we had Charles Haley. That was a different situation. Not only that, but that was what, in the 90s? It's a different league now. Just like you had Charles Haley that worked out, you also had a bad egg like Greg Hardy. How did that work out? Damn near yelling and almost hit the damn special teams coordinator. For what? So again, I just feel like we have enough drama as a team as whole, because the TMZ wants to put that negative narrative out on the Cowboys already as it is. You don't need any more of that on this team. You don't. And you seeing these guys meshing. If you're going to go out and get a safety, go get Eric Reed. You want production? Go get Eric Reed. Oh, but they're not going to do that. You know why? Because the league is all about this politic crap. I don't give a damn if he knelt. But I'm not going to get into that either. So, again, if it's about talent, which I think is also bullshit too, because if it was about talent, you want to keep it 100? If it was about talent, Kaepernick would still be in the league. Eric Reed would still be in the league. I know that the Panthers gave him an opportunity, and he played well with them. But now he's available. So if you want that talent, why not get Eric Reed? I'd rather him than the drama that Earl Thomas will bring to the team. I'm just saying. A lot of people may not agree, but it is what it is. That's just where I'm at. Now, let's get on to the meat of the production. Talk about the safeties that we have on this team. Xavier Woods, Clinton Dix. All of them are looking pretty good in practice. I know you guys heard them talking about and losing his spot to Darian Thompson. He is not losing his spot to Darian Thompson. Y'all know Darian Thompson was a guy that was on a bubble for the longest time. He played pretty good for the Cowboys last year, but he's a spot guy. He's a guy that comes in on certain downs. He's not a starting caliber safety. Clinton Dix was a first round draft pick. You got to understand that the type of safety that he is, he's a box safety. When you're not tackling in practice, you're not going to see him do that. This is what these staff writers and these guys that never play football need to understand. That, like, you're not going to see every position Oh, had to save that. You're not going to see every position excel in practice when you're not going full on. If they scrimmage, I guarantee you the Ha-Ha Clinton Dix will be hitting. But again, they're not doing that in practice. And the Ha-Ha probably like, I really don't have to like show out like that, because again, I want to see these young guys step up and do something too. We know what Ha-Ha can do. If you want to see what Ha-Ha can do, go and look at his highlights. I'm pretty sure my man Vosh Lombardi got a bunch of highlights on it. I'm pretty sure that Vosh Lombardi got some highlights on it. Go watch Ha-Ha when he was with the Packers. He didn't play all that well with the Redskins because it was a different scheme. He already said that himself. He was like, look, I went to an unfamiliar scheme with the Redskins. Again, players play different in certain schemes. And that matters. And I know Xavier Woods went in his little interview and tried to say that, oh, it wasn't the scheme, it was us. He's supposed to say that. Guys, read between the lines, right? Xavier Woods, and if you watch the whole interview, you can tell that he kind of contradicted himself. Because he said that, oh, it wasn't a scheme, it was our play. But then he said that the 49ers had the same thing, but they made it to the Super Bowl, but then didn't win. And then the Kansas City Chiefs had a different scheme, but they won. Again, they won with a different scheme. He just said it. He contradicted himself when he said that. So you got to read between the lines, y'all, when y'all listening to shit like that. Xavier Woods, he already know goddamn well all of them guys that were here last year loves this new scheme better than the old shit that we were running last year. They know that. They know that it was better. They know it was better. So, of course, when they talk to the media, they got to be coy. They got to be coy about it. They can't just sit there and be cocky and just be like, okay, well, the old regime was trash. You never say that. It's called humility. You got to have that. And that's what these players are taught. You're taught not to badmouth your ex-coach. And if you ever play for an organized team, no matter what sport it is, you learn not to do that. That is a no-no as a player. You gotta have you gotta have that. You gotta have that respect, whether you didn't like it or not. You gotta say something nice about it and keep it moving. Or if you ain't got nothing nice to say at all, just don't say nothing. Next question. This is what they teach these guys. And I already knew that was BS when he was talking. Because I was like, watch, somebody going to come in my mention saying, oh, well, he's saying then, it was all on the players. It ain't just all on the players. Because if it was just all on the players, the Cowboys would have been winning way more in the past. That scheme was garbage. They were predictable. They kept doing the same thing over and over again. It's common sense. Anybody that got half a brain would have realized that it was a damn scheme. Xavier know it too. He knows it. That's why when they asked him, are you excited about this new regime and what they're doing? Yes. He said, I can't wait to get out there and hit. So, again, he contradicted himself. So, I'm just trying to teach you guys that, like, when you're evaluating things, that's why I'm glad I'm a YouTuber, because I could be able to talk to you guys and like show you guys the light. I'm showing you the way, because that I'm not a yes man, and I'm not going to agree with everything just because everybody else agree with it. I'm going to tell you what it is and the factual shit, because I do my research and I work hard on this channel every day to get out of here, fly. Get out of here. But yeah, I talk realistically about everything. I don't play no games when it comes to that. So I just want to, I thirst for knowledge. And when I do my research, I pass it along to you guys so you guys can feel what I'm saying as well. So, like I said, with that, I think that even if we don't go with Earl Thomas, I think we should be okay. If that pass rush holds up, it's going to get these guys out there to make plays in that back end. The quarterbacks have been making plays out here. They've been batting the ball down, and I think Chidobe Awuzie had a pick in practice today. So they doing all right. And they're going against this offense that's good. They're going against these wide receivers that are really good, and it's helping them to get better. Because if you can go good against these wide receivers, the other teams that don't have as good as wide receivers, you're gonna shut them down. So just be a little bit optimistic, but understand that no matter what happens, the first couple of games of the season going to be rough because we didn't have an off season. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. So with that being said, that's all I really got. Oh yeah, Connor Williams. I want to talk about him real quick. He was looking good since he had his surgery or whatever. He's been in the off season, rehabbing and getting things done with the strength and conditioning coaches and stuff. So he's doing his thing. So I think that he's going to play much better with the offensive line this year. So as of right now, your starters are what we already know. With Joe Looney and being the starting center and everybody else being the same. So, because again, there's not enough time to implement a lot of stuff. They have to put their game plan in. Mike McCarthy already said starting next week, they're starting their game plan for the Rams. So it's not a lot of, room for error. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy E2 Blue. Always keeping it real. Talk to y'all. Oh yeah, tomorrow night, my live stream, 9:30 Eastern time. But I'll remind y'all tomorrow too. But it's your boy. Keep it real.